welcome back to Champion the Passion, a weekly pro wrestling podcast where we inspire you to champion your passions and celebrate the joy in what you love. I'm your host. My name is Victoria Daisy, and today we're going to be recapping everything that happened last night on Monday Night Raw. But before we get started, don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed, and follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms, and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. But let's dive right in, because the opening segment, we picked up where we left off. I'll just say that. If you watched Monday Night Raw last week, the Raw after Mania, you know how it ended. And that's how it started last night. So we had Seth Rollins and his new gang pull up. And first of all, I just have to say, it is still so weird that Bron Breaker is a Paul Heyman guy. I mean, even that Seth Rollins is a Paul Heyman guy, but I'm having trouble processing Bron a little bit more. And I can't believe that this is the reality that we live in. Like, when they all came out, I was like, okay, like, look at you guys go. Like, it was such a vibe. Anyways, it was Gag City over here. But Seth got on the mic and said that this new group is the future of the industry. And before he could even continue talking anymore, Sami Zayn interrupted. And I was like, buddy, what are you doing? What are you doing? So Sami Zayn interrupted, and Sami came out to tell Seth, as his friend, that this new group is a, quote, load of crap. Okay, Sami's stirring the pot. He started comparing Seth to Roman and Punk about how self-righteous and selfish they are. Seth then tried to explain the vision of the future to Sami, but Sami did not get it. And Sami said it's a coincidence that the future revolves around him. And then he called him hypocritical. And I was like, Sami, you're walking out the nice right now. But it's fine, because then Sami clocked him by saying he now has his own bloodline, and then it got heated. Seth does not like getting compared to Roman, to Punk. Those are his enemies. He does not like them. So getting compared is probably the last thing he wants. But Sami clocked him because he is giving hypocritical. I love Seth and I love what they're doing, but it's the truth. So then Seth said, quote, "You either join us or become a target." Then Seth tried to convince Sami to work with them, but it clearly was not going to happen. Then Seth closed the segment with, quote, "We need an answer by the end of the night." And so now I'm like, oh God, obviously Sami is not going to join them. So we all know what's going to happen. And I felt so bad for Sami. I was like, man, it's all going to come for him. But next, we had our first match of the night, which was Rhea Ripley versus Roxanne Perez. Now, this match was a dream match for me. And I don't mean in the way of, these are two of my favorite wrestlers and they're finally clashing and they're having this big match. No, that's not what I mean by dream match. What I mean by this is my dream match is because my favorite, Rhea Ripley, is going to obliterate my least favorite, Roxanne Perez. I mean, it's a dream that Rhea Ripley can do what she does to Roxanne, put her in her place, because Roxanne is on this high horse thinking she's the greatest of all time when she is extremely far from that. So I was very excited about this match. And to be honest, this match was awesome. Like I said, getting to see mommy do mommy things, snaps for her. And I cannot wait, because Roxanne did officially get called up last night, and I just can't wait until Roxanne gets lost in the sauce like everybody else who gets called up from NXT. There's very few that don't get lost in the sauce, but most do, and I hope she's one of them, because, you know, having to suffer to see her every week on NXT is just so annoying at this point. But if she gets called up to the main roster, obviously there are 1,000 more bigger stars than her that are going to take the spotlight away from her, and I cannot wait for that. Anyways, to be honest, I did cringe a lot during this match, and it obviously was because of Roxanne. I mean, her botches are actually so out of control. It's messy. It's bad. But thank God I didn't have to watch it for much longer, because Julia came out to distract Rhea, but thank God it didn't work. I was about to be fuming if Roxanne beat Rhea, because we all know it's not freaking believable that little Roxanne beats freaking Rhea Ripley. Like, that is just, you cannot convince me. There's no piece of evidence that proves that point that she can beat her. It's literally not possible. I don't care. I do not care. So whatever, the match kept going on, and then eventually Julia interfered and actually ended the match. And I was pissed off because this ending sucked. It was a way for Roxanne to not get pinned. That's literally what it was. Like, you literally cannot tell me otherwise. They didn't want Roxanne to technically lose. And I was like, bro, whatever. So Julia and Roxanne start beating the crap out of Rhea, and then our women's world champion Io Sky came out for the save, and it seems that maybe in the future we would get a tag team match between the four of them. I mean, nothing really happened after that. Like, there was no match announcement or anything, so I don't know if we'll actually get it, but it's definitely something that they could do if they wanted. And it's hard because part of me loves what's going on and part of me hates what's going on. As we know, Bianca Belair, who was one of her opponents at WrestleMania 41 2 weekends ago, came out of the weekend with a couple broken fingers, which really sucks. I'm not really sure if that injury is a work or a shoot, but we'll find out eventually. Well, probably not. But and so we all know that Rhea and Bianca were going to have this big money match, this big money feud between the two of them. And so, you know, right now she's out. And so this is probably Rhea's little side quest with Roxanne, Julia, and Io. And we know that Rhea's going to go back for the title. She told Io last week that I'm coming back for that title at some point. Be ready. And then, you know, when it comes to Bianca, I definitely do think that we will have some sort of maybe SummerSlam feud with them. Have Bianca take off 2 months and have her come back in June or July or something, you know? So it's definitely an option. But the next thing that happened was a Logan Paul segment. So he came out basically bragging about how, you know, he beat AJ Styles at WrestleMania and being the typical heel where he craps on all the fans, you know, doing what he's supposed to do. And I love Logan. I really do. But sometimes his heel promos can get so repetitive. And this goes for a lot of heels. I feel like the blueprint to how to cut a heel promo is so generic. I don't even know if that's the word, but it's just like, I'm going to crap on the fans. I'm going to say y'all suck. And that's really it. And I'm going to say I'm the best. Like, that's really what it comes down to. There's not much substance to it. And I wasn't really sure where Logan was going to go with all of this. And then he said he's done everything in this company except for winning the World Heavyweight Championship. And of course, you know, he proceeded to call out Jey Uso. So then, of course, eventually Jey Uso comes out, you know, say his name, he appears, Nacho Hendry, Jey Uso. So Jey said that, you know, he's worked too hard to just hand over the title to some YouTuber. And as a YouTuber, I was like, bruh, I get what he meant though. And he said that when Gunther beat him up, he said that when Gunther beat Jimmy up, it lit a fire within him. And he said that this title isn't just given, it's earned. And it's his. Logan started talking more crap, and before you know it, Jey Uso super kicked him. And I was like, let's go, King. Stand your ground. And the question now is this Jey's and Logan's new feud? If so, that's a W, like literal W. So I hope that this is where we're going. I think this would be a fun little feud for both of them. My only concern is that Logan Paul is very good on the mic and Jey Uso is not. I know a lot of people are going to say, no, but he is good. And it's like, no, look at his promos. He defaults to yeet when he doesn't know what to say. And there's not much. Yeah, it comes from the heart, but there's just like, you gotta rehearse it a bit, buddy. It's not working out. So, you know, that's my only concern. But, you know, again, time will tell. There's such thing as promo class, so we'll see how that goes. But the next match was the War Raiders versus the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and JD McDonough, I believe. And this was a pretty good match, although it was nothing super out of this world. And I also have to say, I don't think people give enough credit to the War Raiders because they bring so much to the table and they're so entertaining. And also they just came off an extremely dominant tag team title run, which I thought was amazing. And I was so sad to see them drop the titles to New Day. But whatever, not everyone can have a Roman Reigns length title reign, right? So, but in the end, they ended up winning the match, which I thought was awesome. And then after that, we had a Becky Lynch segment, which was so freaking phenomenal. So Becky came out to admit that she was the person to attack Bayley. She said that she still feels salty because Bayley has been attacking her since 2019. Then Becky said that she proved at WrestleMania why she's a bigger star than Bayley. Then she said that Lyra Valkyria wouldn't be in this business if it wasn't for Becky, for herself. And then she said that she reminded Bayley what she thought of her right before WrestleMania when she attacked her. And of course, say her name and she appears, not Joe Hendry, Lyra Valkyria, my literal queen, our women's intercontinental champion, Lyra Valkyria. So Lyra came out and said that, Bayley was one of the first people to warn her about Becky and her ways. And Lyra said that she ignored the red flags because she was caught up in the fantasy of winning Irish gold, Irish tag team titles, whatever. And so Lyra then said that she's going to make her and Bayley pay. I was like, okay, queen. Then Becky responded and said that she won't wrestle Lyra unless it matters. So Lyra challenged her to a title match at Backlash, and Becky accepted. Then the end got super heated and Lyra clocked and cooked with this one. She said, quote, "You never made me matter. I made myself matter. And now I know I don't want to be the next Becky Lynch. I'm Lyra Valkyria, and not only am I a better person than you, but I'm sure as hell a better wrestler than you." Lyra, I didn't know you had that in you, queen. You ate that up. Hello. I mean, this was a fantastic promo / segment between the two of them. I mean, I am so excited for this match. When they had their little program in NXT, I thought it was phenomenal. So I'm so excited for this rekindling of it. And I think it's going to be so good. I mean, we have 2 weeks left. Oh no, we have one more Raw. Wait, what? We have one more Raw till Backlash? There's no way. I have to check my calendar. There's no way. Wait, what's today? Today's the 29th as I'm filming this. And oh my gosh, we have one more Raw. Okay. Did not know that. Why do I feel like that's so close? Backlash is so close to Mania. Hello. Well, I guess that's how it's supposed to be. Whatever. Anyways, very excited about that match. And then, speaking of matches that I'm very excited about, we had, oh my God, we had our NXT Women's Champion, Stephanie McAfee, come and grace us with her presence once again on Monday Night Raw. And she had a banger with Ivy Nile. I mean, I didn't expect for it to cook as much as it did. And I thought both women did so good and were able to showcase both of their movesets very nicely. And it was just one of those matches where it was just like clean and perfect. You know what I mean? Like, I really just enjoyed it. And of course, in the end, Stephanie McAfee won. And then we had a bit of an interesting segment, if you will. Pat McAfee got on the mic. Yeah, and he cut a heartfelt promo where he talked about how he hopes when he leaves this earth one day that he is remembered for his loyalty, kindness, and generosity. He didn't appreciate what Gunther did to him and Michael Cole last week, and he said that if there's a problem with Michael Cole, then there's a problem with him. Like if somebody has a problem with them. And then he said that he wants to fight Gunther ASAP. So then Nick Aldis came out because Adam Pearce was out for the night. So he was kind of just like GM for the night, which I don't know if there's something going on in Adam Pearce's personal life that he needed to take a night off, but sending you well wishes. And then so he said that the match will happen at Backlash. Pat McAfee versus Gunther. This, I feel like they're just trying to make something out of nothing right now because this is not going to be a real match. It's going to be a squash, and I think it's funny. I giggled. I giggled. So, whatever. Let's head into the main event. But right before the main event, Sami Zayn told Seth Rollins that he is not going to join the group, and he basically told him to go to hell, which I thought was iconic. And so then we had a match between Bron Breaker and Sami Zayn, and this was pretty much like a semi-squash match, to be honest. I mean, for what the match was, it didn't deserve to be the main event, in my opinion. And I mean, Bron did show a lot of dominance, and this match was literally just to showcase that he's a threat, which, is great. And in no way am I trying to crap on the match or this new faction or anything. I just wish that it wasn't the main event. But then at the same time, I get that it had to be the main event because they had to make a statement. This was supposed to close the show, so I get it, but I'm not happy with it. And then, Braun speared Sami like 1,000 times to the point where, I mean, the match ended. And Braun won, whatever. And the closing shot was the same as last week. And I mean, what a way to make a statement, And I still think that they're going to add another member or two, maybe not two, maybe one more. But I am just loving what's going on with this Evolution 2.0. Banger. I'm here for it. Cannot wait. But let's head into my overall thoughts. I thought it was an okay show. It wasn't as great as last week. I was expecting a little bit more. But my match of the night was Stephanie Vaquer versus Ivy Nile. I loved all the spots that they did, and they truly, truly put on a show. Then my segment of the night was Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. I love, 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 love how Lyra showed her more aggressive side on the mic, and it was just a great heated exchange and got us so excited and prepared and ready for their match at Backlash. Overall, I'd rate the show about a 7.5 out of 10. And then just, hoping that SmackDown this week is 10 times better than that. So we'll see. And also, if you guys are watching or listening to this before NXT tonight, your girl's going to be at NXT tonight. So make sure to follow on the socials, keep up, because lots of content is coming. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching and listening to this episode of Champion the Passion. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed, and follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms, and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. Don't forget to champion your passions and celebrate the joy in what you love, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!